Alright, hello everyone, this is a different kind of video obviously. I did mention in my last one that I wanted to show some other stuff around. This is the Minecraft world I've been working on for a while. I actually had to pause work on my current ship that I'm working on. This for the G-Plate project I was doing for Thrive. So I'm going to just give a bit of a tour of everything I've done here so far, what I'm working on, what I'm hoping to do still. Where's the sun at? Yeah, it's still daytime. I think we're good for a bit. And so I made some fun armors here. It's actually why they're here. Not really actually meant to be used. Dragon egg, dragon's head, super earth banner, a Tauntaun scum banner. But I had to make it because it is kind of fun. And United States, Royal Navy, Kriegsmarine, and Imperial Japan. It's so wonky, but it's the best one I found. Because yes, there are ships. There's the Arizona Memorial. We'll actually go visit that a bit. Currently, this is just where I have all my various tools at different rarities. Extra full extra gold stuff, diamond stuff, and just projectiles and other random stuff. Oh wait, no, it's turning night. Okay, I'm gonna have to sleep soon. I do have some discs. I have more discs here. I think I have loom stuff over there. This is a map of my general base. You can already see just the crazy stuff here. So I actually had expanded this out. It wasn't like that. I created that. Made a little sniffer pen there. This is my house here. It's a cop roof, which I am happy with. I like it a lot. This little smeltery house, sheep farm, villager breeder that's currently inactive. Iron golem, iron farm there. Is it? I am slowly going to work on getting that. That's actually to work on Bismarck. There's this Use of Sims, Enterprise. This was also the first one I did. I'm really happy with how it turned out. The Arizona Memorial, and I'll show some of the other stuff around once I get it turned today. And yes, I do have I have 2 cats and a bunch of dogs. Alright. Although I've been keeping the maps on me while working on Bismarck, so I'm gonna just take them back. I do actually plan to. Also, this may cause some issues with some people, but I want to make Bismarck accurate to what it was like around the time it would have sunk. So these maps are going to be locked to look like this when the ship's fully done, and then I'm going to go and do a slight change on these slight red sections with the plus signs in them. I shouldn't have to say what I'm going to be putting there, but it'll only be visible for when people actually fly above it. And since I don't know if I'll ever make this world public to others, or even have a world download, that may never be a problem. It'll just be something for me to live with. Curse myself with that. I think I moved the enchant. Yeah, I moved it all over here. But yeah, enchantment stuff, I actually organized it by weapon type here. So there's that. My lapis here. There's even more lapis in there. And I also collected the different ore blocks. That anvil's gonna be done soon. I know I have books somewhere, I think, unless I use them all up. The natural enchantment table, some brewing stuff here. I don't really have a major brewing thing set up yet. Another war, blaze rods, blaze powder, some potions I have obtained. A lot of bad omen ones as well. I've gotten a lot of pillager patrols over my time in this area. And even just going out. Then down here, this has actually been changing a lot more recently. This is my storage. I wish I could make it easier to get down here and a little quicker. This is the main storage. This is getting slowly pushed out for a much larger storage. This is what I was using for a while. It was decently organized, but I knew I was going to need some more room, and that's where this all comes in. Down here is going to be my new and improved storage space also, yes. Music, which I can't hear because I have the game muted, so that I can actually speak and not get drowned out by the game. Just like every other game I seem to have to play with. Also, I should point out I am labeling each of these, so these are going to be color blocks on here. So these are going to be their colored wool blocks, terracottas and whatnot, and a few other things. I'm going to move the maps actually up here. Also, I guess you're going to note, I have a shield for each of the 4 navies that you saw the flags for, so I granted this because I'm working on Bismarck. My tools are named after different ships, so the HMS Hood for that, IJN Yamato there, Bismarck of course, then the US Systems. I actually switched the helmet out right before this. I have a gold helmet that is supposed to be the USS Missouri's plaque that World War II was ended on. Okay, so we got, this is the wall area, so just normal, and then we got the carpet variant all the way down. Yeah, it is a lot of chests. I am prepared for things to get haywire. And each one is going to have a sign that says the general thing, and also, so when you go in, it'll be like wall, so you know what it is, and also so I know what it is, I guess more accurately, so don't go insane. And then also what quarter I'm going to, because there's going to be a number of quarters that stretch out. I might even have some turns for some other sections. Yeah, so terracotta is here, got the regular colored type, and I think it should have also, yeah, down here we have your basic terracotta. I've had to use a lot of terracotta actually with the ship, so this is actually something I've needed. Then I got the glaze variant, which if I don't have the thing, well, if I don't have the item, I've made it for these little kind of markers on the floor. Something I also want to do, so I don't have to go and put signs on these to block my clicking ability. I just look at the floor to know what item it is. For some things it'll be a little bit harder. I'll probably have to use item frames for like things that don't really sit well on the floor. So yeah, this is now concrete. I've also had to use mainly black concrete. I think I'm about to use a few other colors throughout this as well. So just your powder form and then your solid color form. I also use a lot of granite in this, and I've murdered a lot of nether trees. You're gonna see my nether spawn. It doesn't look like a forest anymore. Here on down, then we have glass. So honestly, the panes look a little weird over here, but I actually left a room down there in case we get another. They add the reinforced glass pane at some point. Then again, it just worked that way anyways. So good glass all the way down, glass, and then I added in the reinforced version right there. And of course, there's an empty spot here, which in case we somehow get a pane of this, well, I'll have room to add it in. Actually, there's actually like multiple cave systems that I have had go into when I've done this. So I keep on having to like, I don't generally play with the command on, but I want to just show you how funny it looks. Spectator. Yeah, I've had multiple like cave systems that I've dug into while doing this. You know, I did so much. I think there's like maybe a bunch of granite or something here. I mined a ton of it for this as well. And just leave an iron there. Yeah, I don't need that. I have a farm for it now. I don't care as much. You can see just kind of, yeah, this one also got dug into a cave. Yeah, we were over with the glass. Yeah, I've kind of gone through a lot of this, so I'm not as, I don't consider this cheating as much. I mean, yeah, you can tell I've already been there actually. Yeah, I just do this just to be able to get a good idea of what I'm doing. I don't try to play a lot with it. I have had to go into commands actually for one of the ship builds actually, which I will point out when I show that one off. So that's the glass. Then we have candles and banners. I can consider them colored blocks. I did do candle siege banners. This kind of does break what I was doing before. Kind of gets in the way, but there's still a half I can access it pretty easy. And if I do it at the right angle, I can get in behind them anyways. So this one is a little different. They each obviously have their own colors. And yeah, I should say this is the order I decided on for colors. Don't ask me why I chose that specifically. Obviously the regular candles here, but here we have different banners, types of banners. Although I should probably be adding in another row here so I can actually get these chests that are further back. I should probably actually do that now that I think about it, but it's been a while, and I wasn't thinking about it when I was doing it initially. I put those separately because they show up as different things. There's some United States banners, some I stole from End Cities. I'm going to have others for the other ones I haven't gotten around to making more of them. Which I am going to have to make more because there is a mega build I do plan on doing once I finish with the other ships. Because currently I'm doing Bismarck, and I plan on doing the HMS Hood. If you know anything about naval history, Bismarck and Hood had history together, you could say. Um, I actually plan on putting them pretty close to each other. They're not going to be aiming at each other though, but they're going to be like right next to each other. So I might have to actually wait on these maps before I lock them, because if Hood is partially in them, I don't want to lock it and then have half of Hood showing up on a map. Because you know how they work, it would still affect like other maps I make. Got a little clock down here in case I need it. I have 4 axolotls. I want to breed the special axolotl. Some emeralds. I do have a villager haul, I guess. I mean, you could call it a haul. It's more of a ship. Yes. Enterprise actually. That might be. I don't know. Should that be the first one? Oh, yeah, that'll be the first one I show you, since it's the first one I made. We should show a few of the other things around here. I guess I should say this is like the kitchen area, sort of. I have all my just random ore blocks I don't really need anymore. I've been turning them into the blob blocks a lot of times. But I've kept them here. I don't even know what I source out there. I don't really use it because I have now like a much crazier setup for cooking stuff. Just got food in here. I am planning on expanding this, so when I can start moving more of the stuff around with the new storage system, I'll be doing that. Yeah. So this is actually for the gold farm in the Nether. Just basic diamond shovel to get snowballs so I can aggro stuff without killing it. Another ward I haven't really harvested. I don't harvest these a whole lot, but I'm okay. That's annoying. Oh lord. Oh, it is up a few I'm gonna have to fix eventually. Yeah. Yeah, I forgot there's a little bit of coarse fruit over there. This is actually a gravity block duplicator. Gotta do it like this because it lands on the spawn area, so that's how it is. And, oops. Yeah, that thing I'm probably not actually gonna use. I might tear that down actually in the future. That was supposed to be a tree farm, but I was testing it out with some like nether stuff. Oh, in other words, it's a little hard to use. To get a download from the person that made it. Well, it's not like as if I asked him for it. I just he had it out for free as a free download, so I just do that. There's always a hole here. I keep on forgetting about that. Yeah, just the normal. I usually make a lot of bread, so I just don't really touch the other stuff. The ancient flower garden, I guess I don't really know what to do with them. The sniffers, I got 4 of them. They're doing a good job. That's a lot. Yeah, I also have 5 extra sniffers. That's just in case something happens, or I want to do some other fun stuff with them. Yeah, you can see my happy gas over there. Yeah, a lot of chickens. And yes, I have each kind now. I used to didn't have it, and I had to like move them around a little bit. Yeah, I did a lot of crazy stuff when they expanded this quite a bit. It used to be just all along there. I still have the white sheep there. I don't really need them, honestly. I got the pigs, the cows, the chickens. Feed them up a little bit more. This area I want to do something with. Don't really know what yet. Could be another farm or something. I should also mention, you probably already noticed, but the main house is made with just oak wood and then copper. I've used diorite for the kind of light posts. I have it spaced out as well, so generally there's no mobs actually spawning on my island anymore. There used to be quite a bit until I fully did this. It did take a lot of quartz. I'm actually running out of easily mineable quartz, and I might just start cheating to get my quartz, because I'm getting sick and tired of doing nether journeys, because it's the easiest way to get quartz at this point for my builds. And this is a wall duplicator to smelt items. This is kind of a smaller variant I use. There's actually a bit of a crazy one actually down below that uses lava buckets for more of a mass smelting when I need it. So right now there's a bunch of stone in there. Just get these old empty buckets out and put them into the slug over here. I'm gonna have to fill up soon. And I do have a lava farm. Things are a little hectic here. Some of it's still left over from when I first showed up. Did a little bit of decorating with leaves here. My imprisoned sheep fur wool. Been getting. Obviously, this has been going on for a while, so I've been getting. God, these chests are almost. They're getting pretty full. I may want to make another chest attached to them soon. just to be safe. Yeah, I got each color as well. Should have been the same pattern you saw before with the colored blocks in the larger sword system. Bamboo. I mean, scaffolding, I've had to use a lot of it for these builds. As you can see Enterprise over there, we're going to show some else. This is the village breeder I've deactivated. One of them there should be a farmer, but I took away his composter so I would not have too many villagers showing up. I may use it when I once I get the other variants I need in the villager hall. This was for Rex, and to expand the grass a bit. I left there. Happy Gas is over here. He's been actually very helpful since I got him. Little happy guy. This is currently where I'm just sleeping here. I may make a video on my process of how I actually set up the, how I actually do this, because I mentioned the 5 survival strategy video I just came out with. I don't do these freehand or by myself. I mean, telling you by myself, but I'm not the one who came up with it. I use other. I have a bunch of worlds downloaded of different ship designs. Like Bismarck's has 4 versions of it in there. This is technically what I'm doing is I'm actually combining 2 different versions of it. One that has its camo pattern that you will actually see in historical footage and photos of it when it was actually in service before it sank, as well as the yellow top turrets, because it had those when it actually was sunk. That was so the Luftwaffe wouldn't actually attack it, because I don't know if I'm not even sure I can say it. Because the Nazis were dumb. That's all I'm gonna say. The Nazis were dumb. They couldn't even figure out their own ships. Didn't matter that there was a giant pinwheel on the ship. It still bombed it for some reason. If it didn't have yellow turrets, I don't get it. Nazis are idiots. Actually, got a few extra dried gas. I think I made a bunch of them actually. I have a ton of chests in here. I go to a lot of just random. This is completely just random stuff I'm storing in here. Like this is literally me tearing up a shipwreck. I think it was actually in the way of the build here. A lot of cobble, a lot of iron when I need it. This is kind of my torch chest. Hold on a moment. Alright, yeah, this is all some other stuff in there. I generally have these organized when I'm working on it. Sometimes it's a little chaotic, but it helps me know where to find stuff. Yeah, I've been also using smooth quartz. Also, the amount of quartz in that is horrendous. I spent so long obtaining all that quartz, and I think that's why I don't have a lot of quartz in the easy accessible areas now. And pillar up fell out of it. And there's no good quartz farm, which is really annoying, because also the daylight sensors need it. There's a bunch of other uses for it, and just it's kind of annoying. This is the iron from my. I think I actually added more chests. Maybe I need more. I actually need to get a bunch of this iron out. These produce so much iron, it's ridiculous, honestly, in my opinion. But it's efficient at the same time. And I actually turn a lot of it into iron blocks, because you can store more iron that way in the chests. It just makes it easier to do, as far as I'm concerned. Not enough. Should have, yeah, another in there. A bit. Right, the trees. Yeah, I think I need those trees for some of the wood in the build for Bismarck. There's some like acacia. I think there's some other woods in some later parts. I didn't have a lot of acacia, so I just was growing some there. In fact, I think for the birch, actually, I covered a ton of this area in just birch trees. I was doing actually the same with the Arizona build. Okay, let's see. I don't actually have a good path to it yet, so I'm gonna have to throw myself off the side here. Then we can go to Enterprise, I guess. Yeah, I have some stuff underneath here as well. I used to have the axolotls under here, but I moved them. I do have a bunch of turtles down here, and another cactus farm where I like got rid of it. Actually, the underside of the whole mechanism for that. I need to find some light stuff down here. Probably sea lanterns. Pick up a lot of little turtles. Actually, I think some of them grouped around here. This used to be my axolotl pen. I'm gonna give them a different space eventually. So random chicken down here. Some holes as well with the water from the farms. I feel like I should deal with. Yeah, that's an automatic way to collect all the stuff from the sniffers. This used to be a cactus farm. I had torches in between the cactus because, yeah, because torches don't actually take out the cactus like other blocks do. So it was a nice way to keep it all lit up. Yeah, I just wonder when the kind of from that I have over at Bismarck would activate. Yeah, actually, for Enterprise, I actually have this is meant to be an anchor, so I had it kind of anchored in. I don't know if I have it oriented the right way actually for true like anchoring for a ship, but it allows it to be accessible for what I need it for. Just get back up here. Wrong way. Need to go over. Ow. I do like the flowers of the cactuses, but it does make these. I wish it would only happen when they get to a much bigger size. Yeah, Enterprise was the first of the ships I did, and it took a while. Like a lot of this other stuff, like I already had my house. I think I even made the iron farm before it in the village where I actually started doing, I think partly while I was working on this. Although when I was trying to move one type of villager into it, I kinda screwed up a command and goofed up a lot of things, which hurt a lot emotionally at the time, but I was able to handle it and figure things out, fix some stuff. That one armor stand that's not in like the bedroom area, that's actually a replacement for kind of a cool armor I had that got a bit damaged. Some of the maps got lost and other stuff. I had to fix a ton of things, but I've been doing a lot better. Yeah. So, and also each of these will have some sign indicating who actually came up with the original design. Once I finish, Space Monks is not done yet, so it's not going to have that sign yet. I don't actually remember if it had that in the guide design, but yeah. So this Enterprise I have here was made by Salad Cakes on Planet Minecraft originally. That's mainly outside stuff. All the inside chaoticness I've done is generally because of me. Yes, this is my builder stuff. These I haven't done it, actually gone fully set up yet. There's no one actually inhabiting those yet. I've mainly been working on some of the lower ones. I also have another section over there. Yeah, I try to keep the walls a bit similar. I have all the librarians down here with their labels. This one's an extra guy, so I didn't label them. And on the back side, what their enchantment book is. I still need the desert guy. I need the savannah one. I need the jungle. If you know anything about that, how to basically create a village in the jungle, then move some villagers there and hope they create a jungle villager when they decide to have some kids. Got the plains one, got through the snow guys, and this one was the first one I actually name tagged him as just Swamp. Poor guy. Yeah, so this is where I got pending for all my stuff. I really needed that. I didn't want to lose my netherite stuff. It was just random bamboo and that, and place for cartographers. They'll probably get murdered a few times once I get their thing, like final map, and I don't need them specifically anymore. Unless, of course, it doesn't help. But I have like multiple ocean mines. I might actually have to tear one of them apart if I continue on these fields, because it's out. There's one in that direction somewhere. I don't know if I can. Might be able to see. Also, yeah, 2/3 of these stairs in here were not in the original build. I added them in, but I wanted a way to get to the flight deck because I thought it'd be cool to be able to get up here. There's no way to get up onto the bridge section normally. Okay. There's a shipwreck there. I think there is an ocean monument in that direction. Let me see what my. Okay, I have the max render distance. But there was definitely an ocean monument in that direction. I've visited a few times already. I I may have actually killed the Elder Guardian unintentionally doing that screwed up command I did. So it may not actually have any Elder Guardians in it anymore, but I may also figure out what to do with the Guardians if I do get really close to it with the ship builds. And you can actually kind of see Bismarck from a different direction. You can see there's a lot of scaffolding all over it. Sun's going down again. And just so you can kind of see this, I'm going to go right up. I believe this is like where the normal bridge of the ship would be. Like this is like the general bridge. There's no like actual flooring here. Kind of get that view there. Different stuff. So this is another thing that wasn't in the build. I added campfires to make it look like the ship was sort of active. Here's Iron Chain just so I get them all in there. I just didn't remove it. Try and find it. Wolf flag. I stopped doing wool for the flag just in case I got a lightning strike because there is no lightning rod over here. If there's a lightning strike and it hits that's gonna burn. Plus, also part of the fight deck. Although much less because there's some wool in there as well, as you can see. And got iron chains. And also, with it coming out, this is a great time to actually just stand out here. Because there's no lighting on here at all. So, you would assume that I'm going to have a horrible time. And that a bunch of mobs will spawn. But no. Another thing I've used the cheats for is I've added light blocks to all the ships I finished, so I wouldn't get swamped by monsters if I went onto them, or have them like fall off and get onto my area over here. Bismarck has some already, but not everywhere. You can kind of already, you can sort of see there's some darker spots on it already. See, I have torches still when I am building it, but yeah, once again they're in a pattern to make sure that there's no like loss in light over it. I do believe there's been like a torch that has been like, and it's actually still on Enterprise servers. I just haven't removed it. And I'll see it and just forget to remove it after I see it. I think it's down that way. Now I'm kind of gonna have to jump in the water. Actually, there's no good way to get back in. There's no. I could add a bunch in there, but I'd have to do a bit more. I'm not going to be jumping down this area, anyways. Back this way. I'll make the trip a little bit longer, but it is what it is. Yeah, because I have subtitles on, not just for this. I do it so, like, when I'm caving, I can hear if there's lava nearby. There's potentially an open cave. Plus, if I'm not really paying attention, it can tell me if I'm about to get jump scared by a creeper or something, which, I'll be honest, doesn't always help, but, I mean, hey, if there's a chance to help, I'll take it. And also, if anyone is wondering why the roof for the snow golem, rain actually kills them, so I had to do that for its own safety. Yes, I mentioned it earlier. Also, sugarcane. So a bit more over there. That's not lit up as much, but I had mentioned I had a lava farm. It is right here. Oh, this is the top part of it. I don't know why I keep that open. Got a lava farm right there. It's one of the first things I do now. The dripstone. I have these, but I swear they don't like to grow a whole lot because I've been in this world for what did you say? 1,414 in-game days. Obviously not full time because I have slept quite a bit and all that. So, but like in-game days, and some of these have barely grown. And I haven't added any more of them for a good while. Yeah, so there's that. Down here is like my original mine area. Well, not that. Here, I've also started using this area to get even more stone. It's just absolutely just trashed that area. That's been something I wanted there. I can't remember what it was. Probably granite, andesite, or diorite, because I've used all of them. Yeah, granite's been used in my house, diorite for the post, and andesite for the walkway. Alright, I'm gonna just sleep through the night again and get daylight again, because daylight is nice. Alright. And because I can never remember things straight, maybe I'll show you the other weapons I have. So this is actually named after a Polish destroyer actually that harassed Bismarck the night before Bismarck was sunk. So that's the reason there. Channeling is in part because of its name. It's supposed to mean thunderbolt in Polish. And I hope I have the right spelling there. That's what I have a trident in case I have another trident eventually. That's the gold helmet I was talking about. I haven't named my Elytra at all. I have 8 things there. I haven't named these, but that's a Helldiver shield, Super shield, another Super shield there, an automaton shield, and also the other ones Japanese, American, and British. Crossbow based on Enterprise. Ainam is a Japanese destroyer, and then Arizona of USS Arizona. Yeah, so I got that in there. Yeah, I just thought I would show that. And also, if you're wondering what these were based on, that's obviously Spider-Man. This is supposed to be Miku. Headphones. I just thought that was funny, so I decided to do them. And that's the other armor I was talking about. That's actually, it's diamond with a trim that has redstone, which I just kind of like the look of. And I had another one there, but it was kind of ruined when my teleport command was done incorrectly. And I couldn't remember what I had originally done, so I just did that instead, just to have it there again. Yeah, so the USS Sims, this is actually my second favorite ship of all time, in part because of a game. I think how the character's personality they gave was pretty entertaining. Yeah, so this is done by Life Builds. I think they've also responsible for a few other builds I've done. There's no actual way to get onto here now. I'm just going to spectator. Also, in the build they use a lot of different like commands. So I'm not replicating a lot of that. There was buttons actually that went along all of these posts, and even in the areas where there's nothing, and well, buttons don't like that anymore. Also, 409 is the whole number. That's actually what the die right here actually is saying. I actually had to fix one on the sides because I realized I just kind of gone for it and had not actually set it up so it would work right. And that is the, just go over here for a moment because once again I get distracted. This is the tree farm I was going to try and use, but I think I'm not going to. Just a bunch of random signs for things. This, I mean, I was using this to actually get more, the other stuff. I had a thing for Romeo there, this stuff here, so like, because I wanted to get more of that, because I've been using a lot of the warped wood actually for chests, and a lot, especially for the big storage system I have. I might end up going to like other bigger trees when I decide to really get focused on it again. Yeah, so this is one of the few that actually has a camera that goes all the way around, just doesn't have full-on like steel coloration. You've seen it on the turrets and some other parts, but there were actually like player skulls for different block types. That's actually one of the reasons I had to have commands. I actually had command blocks in my house for a while that just I would just press the button and get the item I needed. It was kind of weird to see command blocks in my house. I got rid of them because I'm not gonna need them afterwards. I may have actually also got an extra one of those by accident one time, and I think I just threw it in lava or something because I didn't need it. Alright, now just watch him lose his whoa. I'm gonna see it's now time for Arizona. I will actually say something about the build over here. It took me like a week to do this build, but right before that my computer had a massive freak out, and I had to actually end up doing a hard reset, and I had thought I had lost this world. And at that time I had USS Sims, I had the Enterprise, I had my house, of course. Fun. I mean, I guess it works for where we're about to go to. But yeah, I thought I had lost so much progress, but thanks to actually one of the other Thrive developers, I was able to get the world back. And I was, honestly, that was a roller coaster of a day when that happened. But yeah, so this build happened after that, so honestly, in a sense, it is definitely special. Yeah, so this one was actually on YouTube. I had to build this in another world, actually, because there was no world download for it. So I had to do it twice basically. Once in creative, once here. And yeah, so we're gonna actually go through the memorial section first. I think it's supposed to be this way. I've never actually been here. I do want to go to Pearl Harbor at some point. I assume this might be, because I feel like that would be the exit. I could be wrong. There's a sign there. I guess they're Arizona, yada yada. And the guy who made it, he said it should be accurate for how it is, so I guess I'm going to leave that. Obviously, there would be a lot of names on here as well. But, yeah. Arizona is the only ship we weren't able to resurface after Pearl Harbor. And then the actual ship build itself, which there's a little bit that stuck out about it. One of the reasons I had to actually build it in a creative world first, to figure where the water level was supposed to be located, so I wouldn't make it too high. That one is for Vestal, which is a repair ship, and then that I think is Arizona's. Yeah, the inside is hollow. Probably one of the reasons it was easier plus no like full bottom. Honestly, the longest part was the birchwood, which once again had caused me to have a bunch of birch trees all over the place. Yeah, this was definitely a fun build to do. Went a lot quicker than I anticipated. I did a lot of drown during it. Also, yeah, I didn't actually go all the way down that. And also, I set up a platform for the whole build to be on. I may terraform it a bit to look more natural. I might just leave it as is, because no one's forcing me to do anything with that. And then we're gonna make our way over to Bismarck. Oh, yeah, there's a random little signpost there. Yeah, but I will say the lighting setup I have is pretty nice. It covers pretty much every place here, and it's also easy to notice on either the map or at night if there's a spot that isn't lit up properly, doesn't have one in it, because it'll just be a very clear empty area. Oh, there's a chance I'm gonna get there in there. Just get them off me for now. Yeah, so you can actually kind of there. I think I might have another one underneath the middle, and then there's one at the end. I have multiple ways to get on because it's kind of necessary. I had, for a little short time, I had all the shulkers for it actually on the front of the ship, but it was just getting in the way, and it was just kind of not as enjoyable because it was hard to organize them in a nice order like I have over there. I removed them again, and you got this. Yeah, this is gonna be changed once the map is solid, and well, not solid. The map's so locked, so that doesn't actually, so that the pinwheel doesn't show up on that. And I guess I should say in that regard, it's because Bismarck is also in part my favorite ship, and it's my way of also being like, yeah, I know what this ship, like the site it fought for, or what they stood for, but if I do any other World War II German ships, things like, I don't know, Graf Zeppelin, which yes, was an aircraft carrier, it did actually exist. Nazis once again did not use it because they're idiots. But this is the only ship that's ever going to get this treatment. All the others will just have this black kind of plus cross on it. Only Bismarck is going to have a different one. In part because, as I said, it is my favorite ship. The hunt for it is absolutely chaotic. It almost seems like, you could almost call it like a cartoon episode with just the wackiness that happens during it. But yeah, you know, I should have mentioned that earlier about it. As I do not like the pinwheel people. But I can like their ship. Alright, so I've pretty much shown everything that's easily shown here. I actually have a witch farm off in a swamp. I might show that because it does require the nether. It's getting nighttime anyways. My nether I don't have like an actual setup yet for an actual nether highway. I do have some, like a start of it. I just haven't like actually built an actual like highway system yet for it to make things easier. So I just have a lot of paths I have to remember to place into, which would be harder after I haven't been here for like over a month. And some I rarely use anyway, so let's see how well I can remember everything. Although the most important one at the moment is easy to remember. I have tracks going to it. There's a reason for that. Yeah, so this was my spawn. Yeah, you can see I have deforested this place. Let me go over here first. Also, apparently the way to break bedrock, I think, this is something I was trying to do for more quartz that was not efficient. Yeah, the way to break bedrock is different now, and I couldn't find a good way to do it, so I just actually went to creative mode and just punched out holes. Well, not holes, just a hole. That's actually left over from when I was making the platform for the gold farm. That is just how I get up to the part I use. There was a bit of a piglin bartering thing up there as well. Once again, was an attempt to get quartz easier. Better for getting a lot of other blocks, but not quartz. So now I still do use it because, I mean, it's a lot of gold. I don't know what else I'd use a ton of gold for. So yeah. Also, the whole thing's made out of glass. I have thought about expanding it a little bit so I can get some more room, so I'm not right next to an angry zombified piglin constantly. Trying to remember where some other things are. Yeah, there's this, I believe, goes to a mob grinder. Yeah, this one goes to a mob grinder. It's not that far. Still a ways from where my actual spawn was in the overworld. I still have this just so I can get there quicker. It's more so just for items, obviously. Not as much for the XP. Okay, it goes up there. I think I made out of like, yeah, I think I made out of a complete deep sleep. Maybe, there might be cobble up there actually, like regular cobblestone. Just in the middle of an ocean. There's a little. Yeah, actually, I don't remember why I did it. Oh, there is an ocean monument there. If I ever have to go after an ocean monument when on a murdered Elder Guardian at some point. Because I should also mention I have not actually done the Wither boss. I have only taken out the Ender Dragon enough times. Okay, I should probably go fast. I don't want to get harassed by the piglins. I think of what other paths I can show. There is also the Nether portal, which I'll show eventually. Probably usually just going to spectator for this. Move a little quicker. Yeah, that ends up going to the end portal. I'm going to show some of the other ones first. There's also a lot of these are also originally from paths I made when I was going Bastion looting for netherite stuff early on. Yeah, I'm going to just follow this. Because this is going to go actually, oh, how should I say it? Like, using the wrong words, I swear. This goes to where I want to do my mega build, which is going to be, once again, done by another person, so it'll be even crazier than the current builds I've been doing but I'm going to try to handle it the same way. I hope it works, although if I like mess up a single block too much, like it could, and I don't notice it right away, I could throw the whole thing off. I will do, although with it, I will say it's going to be a build by some other people that they did of Malevolon Crete from Helldivers, which obviously now explains all the random Helldiver stuff I have. Okay, there's quartz right there. I could probably grab that eventually. Yeah, so that's why there's a bunch of Helldiver things just randomly throughout my base. Because some that was in preparation, making the banners for it for when I have to utilize it in the future. Yeah, but the track here is not, I mean, I can use it to get there quicker once I'm actually starting to work on things, but it's actually because I had to transport a shulker, but not specifically for the build, because I wanted to make a shulker farm over here nearby, because it's going to take a ton of items. I may as well have a shulker farm nearby so I don't have to be going into the end constantly, trying to find end cities I have not shown up to yet and dealing with it. So this is super far away. This is a very open ocean. One of the reasons I chose this area specifically, I think that's like the newest coastline. And so I think the build is, I'm pretty sure I'm going to build in that direction. That is the shulker farm there. I've used it a few times, so I think there is actually some items. I may have already actually, threw a shulker getting angry. Not angry, just opening up. There might be some. Yeah, there's actually some shulker shells still in here. Just haven't grabbed them at all. It was from me when I was testing it a little bit. Why are there phantoms? Why are there phantoms? I've been sleeping almost every night. What? Must be like a phantom stuck in here somewhere. Could have sworn I saw that on the maybe I'm just going insane. Huh. Okay. Well, maybe it was from like the last time I was here and it just hadn't like died yet and it was just frozen there. That's possible. Trying to remember what else I have. I know there's a witch farm. I think that's on a different path. There is this straight path. God, what is this one? This is not the end portal, to be clear. This. Oh, hold on. I think that's just one of my tunnels from Bastion looting. I just did straight lines to Bastions. If I wasn't on like the XY coordinates, I'd match them up. Not XZ coordinate. I'd match up the XZ coordinates, so I'd go in straight lines and then do 90-degree turns, straight line to the Bastion. Kind of see in these other ones a bit. Yeah, there's like a bunch of quartz still, but it's in just areas that are not as easy to obtain, and it just makes it more. I just want to be able to get a lot of quartz easily. I wish they would make quartz like easier to farm or some renewable way to get it. Especially because of all these builds in that need quartz. So much quartz. Try not to make that hurt my eyes, actually. Go this way. I tried to get a villager from over there one time. Yeah, so I have this path. Which I think I'll do a few things. Actually, no, maybe it's just. No, I can't. No, there's nowhere it's just the one. I think the witch farm's in this direction as well a little bit. Yeah, I think the witch farm I went up here for. I mean, there is quartz right there I could grab. Yeah, this is definitely witch farm. I search over this stuff. And there's the portal actually to get to the end portal. It's kind of a whack there. I did a lot of warp stuff for it. This is circuit. I just did this for potions mainly, I want to say. Also may have been for redstone. Because you also get a decent amount of redstone from it, but could have also been glowstone. I know you can get redstone sticks, ice piles, sugar. You can get some other potion stuff for it. They're a pretty decent farm. Obviously, I haven't really used it a whole lot. Some of that was just from me testing it for like a little bit after I completed it. Now I'm going to. Oh, there's a hog one there. Too bad. I'm going to Spectator because I don't want to deal with you, and because I want to get to the other one faster. This, usually I come in from this side, is the portal to the stronghold. It's like right near the actual end portal. It actually has some stalk inside of it. I don't think there's a deep dark in the area though. Which I've also gone looting a lot of ancient cities as well. Early on, I do use trunk base to find things, which is how I can do the directional bastion rampages I've done in the past. Now I kind of orient myself a bit quicker to find things because I want to do a lot of build projects. I don't want to be spending a lot of time trying to find areas or places for those things. I beat the Ender Dragon enough times to get the whole ring set up because I wanted to use the end portal for this, and also I believe I did test it and it should work. I could like from over here I can make something to actually go with a boss using the bedrock from the portal. Just 3 of each, the blocks here. So mainly just concrete, sand, gravel. I should have red sand actually. I don't think I definitely not used it recently, so I just haven't added it in here. And there's not a lot to talk about here actually. Just the end, I beat the Ender Dragon too many times. That was my first one. I still use that one a lot. I actually went crazy. I had a little like tower when I was doing all the Ender Dragon fights, and I had a whole little system set up. I got knocked around inside of it a few times. I even died a few times doing it. But I do keep inventory on because once again I don't want to be trying to find all my stuff when I die. Alright, yeah, I think that's almost all of it actually. I guess I will say, in case anyone was wondering what the, oh yeah, that's my like stone mine. Might be easy. You can kind of see a little bit of the under here. I haven't filled in or well, like also emptied out the interiors for Sims. Not gonna do the same. Well, I'm gonna do the same thing I do with Sims for Bismarck. Not gonna empty out some of it because I don't need to. I only had to do it with Enterprise, and I don't want to do that too much. I mean, the fog does make it a little different now. Yeah, like it all looks really nice. I've spent a long time in this, so so it does mean a lot to me. I've decided it is my forever world. I mean, I don't want to have to redo all the ships again. That'd be a whole pain. Newton League license. You can see it's really dark in here. It's so big. That's another. I usually use like the wood to like find out areas where I'm going to be building on top of. Like I could just have this all empty, but it makes it easy for me to place stuff and to walk around while I'm working on things. I don't know. I feel like I saw something there. Oh no, there's the ocean mine they were talking about. Like I don't know, 15, 20 minutes ago. It's right there. May end up being a problem later when I get you some of the other ships. But yeah, with Bismarck though, because I've gone past like the main hull and I'm working on the turrets, bridge section, it's not as much now, but it's a lot more scaffolding to get to the actual parts I need to get to. I will say the way I do this is I use graph paper, and my god, it does take a lot of time. But given every other one I have, it is worth it. And of course, I always give the credit when they're done. Also, I do love the spawn I have. I actually chose this spawn specifically because of the water. It's just, once again, I used trunk base to figure out the world seed when I was about to start. Funnily enough, actually, the world seed is Enterprise. Yeah, I called it Enterprise, actually. The first one I tried because I was going to do for ship names, and I got a little island here, which obviously this is someone I was under here. This is a big expansion. Part of this expansion was just so I wouldn't have a floating pathway to Enterprise because I hated the look of it. So I just added a crap ton of grass on top. I had a little island here. All this water around me. There's a silent, not silent, the spooky garden is over there, which is kind of cool to have that nearby. And some dripstone thing is also, which is in that direction. Oh yeah, there was a village I took apart over here. I didn't really need anymore. wasn't even really using it to begin with, so I tore all their houses down. Might try to undo the path thing at some point so it looks natural. Probably get rid of what's in the water. It just looks a bit neater. Eventually gonna tear up the remnants of that nether portal that was there. But yeah, a lot of work's gone into this. In part, you can tell with the copper roof I have. They've gone for like, there's actually a little bit of bamboo there. Oh yeah, I didn't point. I have a honey farm as well. It's that right there, kind of middle screen-ish. Sort of from there, right over there. You actually see a little bit of what train I decided not to mess with right there. I actually don't want to mess with that because I don't know if they would mess with another portal spawn. And a lot of this also I did flatten out. Like this used to be much more hilly. Somewhere I decided to just not continue on with it. So that's why some of it is kind of randomly at different elevations, and areas over there have more elevation. That, I think I also had to find that area about that I attached to, well, because that was like a small island that was close to this one, so that was already naturally there. You can kind of tell because I would not have terraformed the ledges off of it. Yeah, I find it so I could get Arizona connected to it. Yeah, I've spent a long time. I've done a lot of stuff in this, and there's a lot more I do plan on doing as well. Have to finish Bismarck. I got other ships to do. I have the absolute abomination of this to continue, which I think the next branch can be that way, but it's going to interfere with my mine at this point. But what? I am actually really confused. Did a spider die here and the zombie picked up its string? Because I don't feel like there should be anything a string there. Which I picked up. But yeah. This area, once to kind of clear this out more, I think I'm going to put the weapons and some other stuff in here. Yeah, this eventually, I think, actually I kind of set up already. I made the main hallway longer because at some point it's probably going to be so big and it'll go so far in some directions that I'm going to need whales to actually travel it. And while I have steps here, I'll probably also have like whales as well, and then like switches so I can stop it at each different stop point, depending on how long some of them are. It'll just make things a bit more efficient. But yeah, that is a tour of the world that I have at the moment and current progress I've had with it. I actually do not know currently how long I've been recording this, and I hope it doesn't somehow do some weird glitch out. The interior of the roof is just nothing. I'm gonna go back over here when I go back to continuing working on Bismarck. But yeah, I want to thank you all for actually watching this. If you have and found it interesting, thank you. I've put a lot of work into this, and I will almost certainly do another video once I finish Bismarck. Although, don't worry, I'm not going to show the actual deck detailing. I probably won't even have that done yet for that, since I don't know where Hood's going to land within the maps yet. Since I have to figure out the size, the distance, I need to make sure they're away from each other, so I don't end up having them hit each other and having to move a ton of blocks just to make things fit right. But yeah, so, and if I ever, when they are there, I'm probably gonna do my best to avoid having it visible, and if they do somehow get visible in it, I'm gonna do my best to learn how to edit blurring and stuff. So yeah, but hopefully that won't be a major problem. Yeah, thank you for watching this.